2-year-old Rainn Peterson of Trumbull County went missing from her grandparents' house in October 2015. 2 days after relentless searching, she was found by volunteer Victor Sutton. Keep up to date with the latest and greatest true crime stories right here.
911, where's your emergency?
Hey, I found baby Rainn and she's alive.
Where is she? Where are you at?
I'm on Peck Leach. Hang on 1 sec. Whoa! I'm on Peck Leach.
Okay, where?
Right at the, just off of Route 45. If they head on Peck Leach, head west, just west of 45, and just come on down.
Okay, hold on. Are you at the road, sir?
No, I'm off the road.
How far? Are you north or south?
I'm 1,000 feet. I'm just north of the road.
Okay, I think I have you spotted. On your phone.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Hi, baby. Stay still.
Is she okay? Does she need an ambulance?
Can I grab her?
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
She's got flies all over.
Hold on. She's got what, sir?
Hang on a second. What? Huh? Okay. So she's got flies all over her, but she's okay. I'm coming, honey.
Okay.
I'm just to the right of the plane. Tell the plane to turn this way. Did you send somebody down Peck?
Okay, I'm coming. They're coming. They will see you. Okay. Is she in what? Describe to me what she's wearing, sir.
She's a purple shirt and gray pants.
Okay, does she have her shoes on?
I don't know. She's got her feet in the weeds.
Is she trapped in anything?
No, she's just sitting here. She was laying down sleeping.
Okay. Child was found laying down sleeping.
Yep, there's phone poles running north and south. I'm right by him.
Hold on, he's right there, and that's exactly where he told me he was. Okay. And that's where he is.
He's off of Peck Leach Road.
Sir, you cannot hang up with me, okay?
I won't hang up.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Victor Sutton.
North of, just like a straight line from the tower.
No, I know. That's where it did.
What's that?
That's exactly where he told me. All right, and she is wearing...
She's on foot in the woods.
Yep, this is her, guaranteed, 100%.
Is she by herself, sir?
Yes.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody else with you, sir?
No, there's cars starting to line up. There's 2 white vans on Peck Leach.
Okay, he says he can see 2 white vans on Peck Leach. What are you wearing, sir?
I'm wearing brown bib overalls, and I'm on a red 4-wheeler.
Submit it.
I'm going.
What? Yeah.
West of 45.
Sheriff's around.
Is it okay to come to the squad before we can't make that decision? I'm sure they're going to say yes, but you have a 4-wheeler, sir?
Yes, it's a red 4-wheeler.
Yes.
Yes, everyone.
Okay,
and you can see 2 white vans.
I see 2 white vans, and there's a guy in a red shirt walking through the field towards me.
And there's a gentleman in the red shirt walking towards him. Okay, we're sending the ambulance too, sir. Please stay on the line with me.
Okay. You're okay, sweetheart. I swear you're going to be okay.
Is that her I hear?
She's just crying, yes.
Okay, I hear her.
God.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
Oh, my God, me too. I couldn't give up on this kid. Thank God.
Are you able to access her, sir?
Yes. You okay, baby? Can I grab her? I don't think
he allowed to pick her up?
Going on.
Is he allowed to pick her up?
She's crying.
She's crying. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, sir, yes, you may pick her up. Yes, you may pick her up.
Baby.
You were the kid.
He's on his own.
He's on his own.
Hang on to me. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Sit there.
Okay, get him.
Sit there.
You want to start heading towards the road?
Or do you want him to keep the spot?
Hi, baby. I know, honey.
boys off my fence.
Hello, baby.
Yeah, go north from my fence.
You're so pretty.
Right.
You're so pretty.
There's a GPS.
You're so pretty.
Can you put your jacket or something around her so to keep her warm?
Yeah, she's fine. You're okay. You're okay. I see the sheriff right now.
Okay, sir, stay on the line with me.
I'm with you. You're okay. You're all right. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay. Oh, my God. Talk about luck. You're okay, darling. Honey, you're doing so good. Doing good, good girl. My baby. Yeah, they're all here now. They're heading my way. My baby. Yeah, she's my man. Oh, she's really good. Look at that. Her name's Roxanne. Say hi, Roxanne. Hey, baby, do you have a puppy?
Are you with
Do you have a puppy?
Is that Deputy Sheriff with you now, sir?
He's coming. They're about 12 of them running through the field.
They're running through the field.
They're fine.
The sheriff.
She is. I can't believe it. She's tough, huh?
Aww.
You're doing good, darling. She's tough. I bet your name is Rainn, huh?
Okay.
We know Rainn. We can look for Rainn. Looking for him. Yeah. Yeah, we can look. Is she here to help you? All right. Come on. Look at all these people. You're famous. You're famous, huh? I'm going to turn her over to you.
Okay, sir, can you tell me if the sheriff is there now?
Yes, everybody's here.
All right, sir, I'm going to disconnect with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, officers there.
The little girl was playing with her brothers at their North Bloomfield, Ohio home, where they live with their grandparents. It was nearing 6 p.m. on Friday, and Dora Mae Peterson, the children's great-grandmother, was making dinner while their great-grandfather Richard was on the computer. Dora Mae and Richard had custody of the three, but their mother, Brandy Peterson, still had visitation rights. Brandy had been moving into a new apartment with her boyfriend on the day Rainn went missing. Brandy had reportedly been out with her boyfriend when she received a harrowing call from Dora Mae telling her that Rainn had gone upstairs and vanished. As Dora realized the little girl was missing, she hastily contacted the police and searched for her granddaughter. According to Dora Mae, the only door that was unlocked at the time was the garage door. Dora Mae and Richard had lost their 3 sons at a young age and were utterly heartbroken at the thought of losing another loved one. A tireless search began, and volunteers, authorities, and relatives searched high and low for baby Rainn. Officials used search dogs, foot patrols, vehicles, helicopters, and even infrared heat equipment to find the girl, but to no avail. That Sunday afternoon, the FBI had called a meeting to say that the search would soon evolve from a rescue mission to the recovery of a body. It was nearing Sunday evening when a volunteer searcher, Victor Sutton, reportedly spotted a solid bit of purple in a field only a few miles away from the home that baby Rainn was last seen. According to Sutton, he saw blonde hair as he drew closer, and then he yelled her name. At first, he thought that the pale child covered in flies had already passed on, but then she opened her eyes as he made his way towards her. He immediately called it in and raced to pick her up, trying to keep her warm while they waited for first responders. The little girl was immediately taken to hospital, where she was found to be in a stable condition. She had arrived cold and wet, but sustained no serious injuries or long-term effects. To this day, there is still mystery surrounding how the little girl managed to leave the home, whether someone took her or how she managed to stay outside for so long. Rainn has no memory of the events that led to her being found in a field, while images of her face swarm the newspapers and televisions. Her great-grandparents still panic if she is out of sight for even a moment. On September 27, 2014, 30-year-old social worker Kayelyn Louder made 3 strange phone calls to 911 shortly before she vanished. She was last seen on surveillance footage leaving her condominium in Murray, walking barefoot in the middle of a rainstorm.
I did hear the fact that it seemed very brutal.
Were weapons involved or mentioned?
Yes.
Yes? What kind of weapons?
Guns. when I have an intruder at the house.
Repeat the address for verification.
They're stealing from my house.
Okay, say your address one more time. I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Get the out of my house.
Okay, do you know who this person is?
No, I don't. I just know that there's an intruder in my house.
You don't know who they are?
No, I don't. I'm not going to look from where I'm at because I'm worried about my safety. Please hurry.
Are you at the location now?
Yes, I am.
Were weapons involved or mentioned?
They're not talking or responding. I'm just telling them to leave so I can hear them taking things.
So you haven't seen them, you can just hear them?
Yes, correct.
Are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
I believe so.
Okay, are you able to get yourself to safety?
I just want to answer that while he's here.
I'm sorry, what?
No.
Can you talk freely with me?
Yeah.
Okay, where exactly are you?
I'm in the back bedroom. Karen,
Where did
lock
the
your door.
suspect enter the building?
There's only one door. Get out of my house.
Is there anyone else in the building who belongs there?
Yes, there's 6 apartments.
Okay, is there anybody else in your apartment that should be there?
I believe she is here. I have a roommate.
Where is she at?
Next door to me.
Can you still hear them?
Yes.
Where does it sound like they're at?
The front room. Near the entrance. It's a small place. Shut up.
Are they saying anything?
Yeah, I heard someone say, hey, go in there, so there's obviously 2 of them. Hey! Karen, lock the door. There's something going on there. Come here. Yeah. They might have left.
Okay, what's going on now? They've left now?
Yeah, so I'm just going to look and see if anything's been taken. Someone opened the door, and I heard them come in. Don't do that, Carol. The door's still locked. It's impossible. They must have a key or something. Because when I took the dog out, I heard people talking. And there was people last night, like, sitting outside the window. And so they, like, were scoping us out or something. Why is the door still locked? Well, I can't explain that, but I heard, like, 2 people talking.
Chilling and bizarre 911 calls were made by Kayelyn Louder, known as Kiki, to loved ones shortly before she disappeared. The first call was made on September 26th at around 9 p.m., where Kayelyn contacted the police to report a violent fight at the clubhouse in the complex in which she lived. She said weapons such as guns were at the party where the alleged altercation was taking place. Still, upon arrival, authorities found the party, a wedding, taking place, but there was no sign of any violence or weapons that had been mentioned in Kayelyn's call. An hour later, a second call from Kayelyn was made to 911, but she hung up. When dispatchers tried to call Kayelyn back, she purportedly seemed confused, had trouble remembering her address, and mumbled into the phone. Her third and last call before disappearing was made the following morning. A distressed Kayelyn frantically reported to dispatchers that there were intruders in her home, but her roommate can be heard in the call stating that the door was still locked and that nobody was inside. When police responded to the call, they saw no signs of an attempted break-in and found no intruders in the residence. Kayelyn, who had no previous history of abusing 911 and had no criminal record, was born and raised in Utah. She was surrounded by loving family and friends growing up, and after graduating, she attended Utah State University and went on to become a social worker. Kayelyn was known as someone who showed kindness to anyone who needed it, and friends described her as an animal-loving, deeply loyal companion. She had recently lost her job and was struggling to find employment. Shortly before her appearance, she had begun writing and sending out new resumes to try and find work. In the footage just outside her condominium, Kayelyn takes her dog out for a walk. She was barefoot even though it was raining. police speculated that she seems to be having a conversation with herself. But friends and family later contested this theory, explaining that Kayelyn often spoke to her dog. About 15 minutes later, Kayelyn ran off, leaving behind her beloved pet, belongings, keys, and phone. Residents of the complex disclosed seeing her crying in the parking lot and trying to open the apartment gates before running away and out of frame. Her family reported her missing that night. Through social media, her family and friends organized a massive search party for Kayelyn and hired private investigators. They also offered a $5,000 reward for information leading to her safe return. Kayelyn's parents reviewed both the 911 calls and surveillance footage. They determined that while she came across as her usual self in the calls despite sounding afraid, her mother admitted that she had acted strange in the videos. They contested speculation of her being mentally unstable and simply running away, stating that she had been a little bit depressed due to her recent unemployment, but that she was remaining positive and hopeful and would never leave home or leave her pet alone. After 9 weeks of thinking the worst but hoping for the best, Kayelyn's loved ones finally received news on her whereabouts. On December 1st, 2014, city workers had been inspecting the drainage pipes along the Jordan River nearby when they came across a body hidden behind plant debris. The family's worst fears came true when the body was identified as Kayelyn Louder. Still unknown is what occurred between her last seen on camera and her death, how Kayelyn's body got to the river that was just 5 miles away from her home. Her autopsy results were inconclusive, only stating that she was likely in the water for the duration of her disappearance and that there was no evidence of foul play, trauma, or substances taken to her body. Kayelyn is remembered by her loving parents, Suzanne Ackerman Louder, Jesse Leland, and siblings Parley Louder, Colton Louder, Maddie Rodriguez. Wendy Lavarnia contacted 911 in March 2017 and reported that her 2-year-old son had gotten hold of her loaded gun and had shot her 9-year-old son, Landon. After investigation, Wendy and her husband, Kansas, were charged with murder.
Tell me what the emergency is. Slowly.
My son, he is 9 years old. He was shot in the head.
Okay. How did that?
He is 9 years old. My day brother. I got my gun down. I was on the bed like an idiot. And 9 years old, I didn't think he could fire it, and he shot it. And then my son was standing up and playing the video game, and shot him in the back of his head.
Okay. Listen.
We're on the way as well.
Thank you, Petey. Is he breathing? What I want you to do is get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure to the wound, okay? Okay, what caliber weapon was it?
A 9mm.
A 9mm handgun? All right, ma'am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, put direct pressure to the wound. Try to control the bleeding. Is he still awake? Ma'am, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're away from the phone or if you put it...
No, I'm putting it in my... I'm putting it in my ear, my head in my ear. Okay, his own lips are turning a little blue, but his eyes are a little open. He's not responding, though.
Okay, what I want you to do is just get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure on the wound. We need to control the bleeding. Now, put your ear to his mouth. Is he breathing?
I think so.
Okay, and he wasn't holding the gun when it happened, correct?
No, he wasn't holding the gun. My 2-year-old did.
Okay. And it's a 2-year-old boy that picked it up?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll be there shortly.
The Phoenix mother had placed her loaded 9mm handgun on her bed next to the toddler and a 4-year-old boy when Landon was a few feet away playing video games. The 2-year-old had allegedly been allowed to practice shooting with the unloaded gun and had picked it up and pulled the trigger, shooting Landon once in the head. When officials arrived at the home on 35th and Rosewood Avenues, they noticed a lack of blood at the scene of the shooting. After investigating the house, they discovered wipes, towels, and clean blood residue in multiple rooms of the home and 2 empty cans of stain remover and traces of blood in the family vehicle. It became obvious that a huge amount of effort had gone into cleaning up the scene before police arrived. Wendy had also told police that her 31-year-old husband had not been home at the time of the shooting, and when he arrived almost 3 hours after police had gotten to the scene, he had a wound that had been taped over with tissues and packing tape. Authorities believed that he had taken what looked like a screwdriver to his arm to try to cover up a through-and-through gunshot wound. When emergency services arrived at the home, the boy was taken to hospital in critical condition and died the following day. Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams stated that significant efforts were made to scrub the house clean and remove evidence while this young boy lay shot and dying. Both were arrested and booked into Maricopa County Jail. Wendy had initially been suspected of 4 counts of child abuse in connection with endangering children. Her husband had been arrested on the charge of illegal firearm possession, a firearm that he had been prohibited from carrying due to a previous felony conviction. As the investigation continued, both parents were charged with first-degree murder in the death of their eldest son, where they pleaded not guilty. On Father's Day 2018, 14 months after Landon's passing, Kansas killed himself. Shortly before his suicide, Wendy confessed to Kansas being at the home during the incident, stating that he had fled the scene due to his prior criminal convictions prohibiting him from having a gun. She also confessed that the bullet that had killed her son had initially hit her husband in the arm, where the bullet fragmented, leading police to believe that he had meddled with the wound with a screwdriver. The bullet went through his arm and hit Landon in the head, causing his death. A plea deal was reached and Wendy's conviction was reduced to manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10.5 years in prison in 2019. Landon was remembered fondly by those who knew him, including his best friend Mason, who left a sad and loving note on the door of the empty home. Their 3 other children, boys ages 2 and 4, and a baby girl, were placed under the custody of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. In June 2021, a Tennessee woman feared for her life when she called 911 and told them that Michael Louise Cadigan had FaceTimed her and showed her his ex-girlfriend's dead and beaten body.
Police and Fire Communications, this is Portia.
Hi, yes, my name is... I'm calling from Kingsport, Tennessee. Is this the High Point Sheriff's Department?
No, it's the High Point Police Department.
Police Department, yes. Okay, I just left from the Kingsport Police Department reporting a murder that happened there in North Carolina this morning. And my friend, his name is Michael Cadogan. He called me this morning and he said that he had done something, and I asked him what he had done, and he FaceTimed me and turned the camera around, and he had choked and beat his girlfriend to death. And he thinks that I'm going to pick him up, and I've played along with it so I could get more information for everybody. I told the police down here too. He is on his way right now to Watauga Lake and Rome Mountain here in Tennessee.
Okay,
and
what part of this happened in High Point though?
I'm sorry?
You think he murdered someone in High Point?
It's around there. They told me, because I don't know the exact city. They told me, the Kingsport Police Department here told me to call High Point because it is around there. And they said, you can find
what's the address?
I do not have his exact address because what I had down, he had deleted me off of, and I cannot get back on those messages.
Okay. Why do you think it's in High Point though? Like, what led you to that conclusion? What's near High Point though?
Where I went before to his house, I went through Salem, and right there, it was like after Salem, and it was like High Point's after, so I thought it might be near High Point, and that's what they told me to call.
Okay, I don't understand. Why do you think it's High Point?
Okay, so I've been to this person's house one time before, and I went through Salem.
Do you mean Winston-Salem?
Yes.
Okay, you went through Winston-Salem.
Yes, and it was it was maybe like 30 minutes, an hour past that. I'm not sure exactly where it's at because it's been a while since I've been there. I do not talk to this person that much, and this is why I'm trying to get everything I can from him because he keeps calling me, and he is wanting me to pick him up from where he is dumping this girl at his lake.
Where is this lake at? In Tennessee?
No, yes. The name of it is Watauga Lake. It is near...
Okay, do you have any idea where it could be in High Point? Was it at somebody's house? Was it at a hotel? Was it at a building?
It was at... I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of everything straight. It's at their... it was at their apartment. Him and his girlfriend leased out an apartment together. And I know it happened in their apartment upstairs. That's all I know.
Okay.
Where it's at.
What is his name?
Michael Cadogan.
How do you spell his last name?
Oh, 1 second. I have to bring it up. It's very hard to spell.
Okay, what's her name?
I do not know her name. I never asked about her. Ever. And so it is Cadogan.
And what was your name again? A phone number for you? And how old is Michael?
He is 24, 25. Not.
How do you know him?
I met him through Snapchat a long time ago. I've known him for about 5 years.
But you've never actually met him. You just know him online.
No, I have met him. That's what I'm saying. I went to his house once before.
Do you know what kind of car he drives?
Good, how are you? I know that he drives a black truck, but he's not in that. He is taking his girlfriend's car and her in the car and dumping it in the lake here at Watauga.
Do you know what his cell phone number is?
Yes, but he left it at the house, and he has a burner phone that he's been calling me from.
Okay, well, do you have those numbers?
Yes, I do. Okay, his cell phone number is...
And what's the burner?
It is...
Are you sure this isn't... It's not a joke?
No, ma'am, I'm telling you, I'm scared for my own life because of how he is talking, and I've seen this girl with my own eyes over the phone.
What did she look like?
She was like, it was like there was a commotion around the room, and she was just laying there beside the bed, and he walked over there, and she wasn't breathing. I told him to check for a pulse. I told him to do everything. And
what do you mean there was a commotion in the room? Commotion with who? Just him?
Yeah, you see like someone had fought, like things around the room.
Okay. All right. Can you describe her? What does she look like? Was she white, black, Hispanic?
She is white. She has curly blonde hair. I'm not sure about her eye color. I don't know for sure.
But he said he strangled her to death.
Yes, he told me that in his own words.
Okay. Let me work on this and I'll have somebody give you a call, okay?
The caller had told the dispatcher that 24-year-old Michael Cadogan had admitted to choking and beating his ex-girlfriend, Gianna Rose Delgado, to death. The caller had allegedly met the man on Snapchat 5 years prior and told authorities that she had played along on the call to gather as much information as possible before going to the police. The killer was heading to Watauga Lake to dump both Delgado's body and her car in the lake when police stopped him. Police found the 19-year-old's body inside a tote bag in the car's trunk, just as the caller had said. Cadogan was arrested and booked into a local Tennessee jail under the charge of first-degree murder and the abuse of a corpse. He's being held without bond. Ricardo Delgado, the victim's father, had demanded the death penalty for the man who murdered his daughter in cold blood. Ricardo said the recent High Point University student had broken off a romantic relationship with Cadogan, but the two continued living together. Ricardo stated that this had concerned him. We talked about getting a restraining order, and my daughter didn't want to cause any type of harm because she wanted to save the world, Ricardo stated. Ricardo also told the court that Cadogan would exploit and abuse his daughter's love for her dog, Franklin, by threatening and kidnapping him. Franklin is now under Ricardo's care. A new court date is yet to be set for the killer, but police say that he will be charged in High Point with first-degree murder and felony concealment of death. Friends of Delgado remember her fondly as a fun-loving and kind-hearted, spirited young woman with an infectious smile who had so much potential. She was working towards a law degree when she was taken far too soon. It was just after 10 p.m. when Alex Murdaugh, of the powerhouse legal family of Murdaughs, found his wife and son shot dead in their Colleton County hunting estate and hastily contacted 911 to report their deaths.
Hampton County 911, where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police to answer immediately. My wife and child have been shot badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Allison?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay?
Hurry.
Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Hello?
I'm still here. Stay on the line. I'm still here, okay?
Colliton County Communications.
Colliton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Okay, and sir, give me the address again.
It's 4147 Moselle Road. I've been up to it now. It's bad.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, and are they breathing?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you said it's your wife and your son?
My wife and my son.
Are they in a vehicle?
No, ma'am. They're on the ground out at my kennels. Oh. I talked to you last week.
Okay. Did you see anyone? Okay. Is he breathing at all?
No. Nobody.
Is she? Okay. Do you see anything? Do you see anyone in the area?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
What color is your house on the outside? What color is your house on the outside?
It's white. You can't see it from the road.
Okay. Is it a house or a mobile home?
It's a house.
Okay. And what is your name?
My name is Alex Murdaugh.
Okay. Did you hear anything, or did you come home and find them?
No, ma'am. I've been gone. I just came back.
Okay. Was anyone else supposed to be at your house?
No, ma'am. Please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you.
Oh. Oh, man. Oh.
Okay, what is her name?
Maggie and Paul.
Maggie is her name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And please hurry.
We're getting somebody out there to you. Me asking you these questions don't slow them down, okay? And you sure they're not breathing? Is he moving at all, your son? I know you said that she was shot, but what about your son?
Nobody's. They're not. Neither one of them's moving.
What is your telephone number? And does anything look out of place?
Ma'am, not particularly, really. No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I'm going back down there. Are they close, ma'am?
They've been around with you ever since you've got on the phone with me. I have multiple people coming out there to you. Okay, can you do me a favor, Mr. Murdaugh, and turn on the flashers on your car so that way they can see where the kennels are?
21. Central Zone out station 1A. You will need station 15.
for me, Mr. Murdoch?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to touch them at all, okay? I don't know if you've already touched them, but I don't want you to touch them just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
I'd already touched them trying to get to see if they were breathing.
Okay. Well, I just don't want you to move anything just in case they can get any kind of evidence, okay?
Ma'am, I'm going to call. I need to call some of my family.
Okay.
On this.
Well, do me a favor for me. Whenever you see the officer or the medics, because they're all coming to you.
Absolutely.
Okay. But we have them come and turn on the flashes on your vehicle so they can see you, okay? You got the flashes on for me?
I do.
Okay. All right. Just whenever you see them.
Okay.
How old is your son?
22.
Okay. All right. We're getting them out there to you, okay?
And I will answer if you call.
All right.
Alex Murdaugh had reportedly returned home to the 1,700-acre estate situated in both Hampton and Colleton counties. He found the body of his wife, Maggie Murdaugh, and his son Paul in the garden outside one of the two homes on the estate. The two were reportedly shot execution style. Maggie had suffered multiple wounds from what authorities determined was an assault rifle, and Paul the same, but a shotgun had caused his wounds. The double homicide became an item of national interest due to the family's name and mysterious circumstances surrounding the mother and son's deaths, and the family's ties with two previous killings. In 2015, 19-year-old Stephen Smith's body was found on Sandy Run Road in the early hours of July 8th. His autopsy revealed that the cause of death was a hit and run and that he had suffered trauma to the head that the side mirror of a vehicle may have caused. Even though the Murdaughs were never officially linked to his death or questioned directly by police, the name came up multiple times during Smith's family interviews. According to files on the case, a member of the Murdaugh family and personal injury lawyer had contacted the Smith family and had offered to represent them at no charge. The family allegedly reported this offer to detectives as weird. The case had gone cold until Paul and Maggie's deaths. Then, in 2019, a 19-year-old woman, Mallory Beach, was killed in a boat crash. The driver of the boat was none other than Paul Murdaugh, who had reportedly been intoxicated when he was driving the boat. This was according to surveillance footage taken at the bar he had been at shortly before the crash, as well as footage of him walking to his boat. Officers who arrived on the scene that fateful night failed to administer Paul with a sobriety test, something that was widely criticized by the media. Since Paul and Maggie's death, it was cited as a failure to conduct an appropriate investigation. According to toxicology reports at the hospital showed that Paul had a blood alcohol concentration more than 3 times the legal limit. However, in court, Paul was not restricted from drinking alcohol or driving a boat even though he faced felony BUI charges. The entire investigation was widely criticized, and even more so in the weeks after Paul and Maggie's deaths. The Beach family is suing Alex Murdaugh. Alex Murdaugh and his son Richard Alexander Murdaugh Jr., also known as Buster, released an official statement promising a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murder of his wife and son. There is much speculation around Alex's involvement in the killings, and some have dubbed him as a person of interest in the case. However, despite any suspicion detectives may have towards the lawyer, no suspect has been arrested, and investigations surrounding the double homicide and 2 killings before the homicide are still ongoing. A criminal's plans to rob a bank in Mount Vernon were foiled when a woman who was once a felon helped police track down and apprehend an alleged bank robber in March 2021.
911, what is the address of the emergency?
The CES bank just got robbed. I am following the guy right now. I'm following the guy. He's in hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
He's in a yellow shirt. He's walking right down Chestnut Street.
Okay, which CES bank?
The sheeny vest on. He just took off his yellow shirt. He is now in a blue shirt. He just went left. He's right here by the moose. He's right here by the moose. He's right here by the moose. He's taking off his shirt. He's right here behind Little Caesars, in between the moose and Little Caesars. Hurry, hurry, hurry. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. He's got a gun, sir. He's got a gun, sir.
I hear you. I hear you.
He's right here. I got my eyes on him right now. Where's the police at?
The CES.
Where's
Yeah.
the police? He's right here. He's right here. He's at Little Caesars. He's trying to go into Little Caesars. He's trying to go into Little Caesars. He's trying to go into Little Caesars, sir.
I hear you.
Okay, now he's walking over to KFC.
Okay, he's trying to go over to KFC. And you did say he does have a gun?
Yes, I see the police telling to come on. He's right here in this front parking lot. He's right here in this front. He's trying to throw his stuff over into the, he's trying to throw his stuff right. I'm trying to keep an eye on him. If the police would come on. Right here, come this way.
Jane Doe had once been a bit of a criminal herself, being incarcerated a total of 7 times before moving back to her hometown and turning her life around, getting married and having 5 children. But being on the flip side of this equation before, not as a bank robber, but a criminal mind, she knew something was wrong as soon as the man later identified as Jared L. Shaw walked into the CES credit union where he had gone to make a withdrawal. She noted that he was wearing a hat, something that is not allowed at the bank. Doe reportedly saw the man showing the bank teller his gun, telling her to give him everything. She hastily grabbed her money that she had withdrawn and ran to her car. According to Doe, she had tried to dial 911 when Shaw followed her, carrying his bag of stolen money, and attempted to smash her windscreen with his gun. But the window did not break. He made a break for it, but Doe was hot on his trail, following him as he tried to run away. She got a hold of 911 and told them what was happening as she tailed the thief. Shaw had fled to an alley behind Colonial City Moose Lodge. He reportedly began removing his distinctive yellow shirt as well as his hat and mask. She followed him onto High Street, where he cut through the KFC parking lot, where he withdrew his gun. Doe had gotten out of her car and was following from a distance when police approached the suspect with their weapons drawn, and he was apprehended without struggle. Jared L. Shaw, age 39, was booked into Knox County Jail on 1 count of aggravated robbery. There is no information available to what verdict was reached, but his charge was a first-degree felony, and when booked into jail, Shaw faced up to 16.5 years behind bars. That's it for today. Don't forget to like this video if you found it interesting, and subscribe to join us in the next episode of True 911.